Page 139, selecting a random sample. So Miss Levi is purchasing standing desks for her classroom. She wants to set up the desks to minimize the amount of desk height adjusting by the students and decides to use the mean height, which is the average of students in her average height of students in her math class as a guide. Rather than using the heights of all students in her class, she decides to collect a random sample of students in her class. So first of all, what is the population for this problem? So the population for this problem would be the population of her class. Okay. Miss Levi received 2 suggestions to randomly sample her class. Decide if each strategy represents a random sample. If not, explain why not. First of all, before we move on, random sample, if you remember, random sample is a sample that is selected from the population in such a way that every member of the population has the same chance of being selected. Okay, so it's just randomly sampled. So let's see if these strategies represent a random sample. So the first one says Miss Levi chooses the girls in the class. Would this be a random sample? We did this problem in the previous pages also, but if it's just the girls, if the boys are excluded, that is not going to be a random sample. Okay. Miss Levi chooses all of the students wearing white sneakers. This would also be a no because there may be a reason why some are wearing sneakers and others are not. So, like for example, there might be a school rule that doesn't allow all of them to wear sneakers except for like the ones that just had like PE or something like that. So it won't be random. Okay. So moving on to page 140, Miss Levi decides to select a random sample of 5 students in her class and then calculate the mean height. So mean height, once again, it's the average height. So mean is the average. She assigns each student in her class a different number. Then she randomly selects 5 numbers. Explain why Miss Levi's method of taking a sample is a random sample. So this, selecting a random sample of 5 students in her class, just have them write a number, and selecting 5 would be a random sample because that means every student has the same chance to be chosen. Okay, so that is why this method right here, not those that we just went over, not those, but this would be an example of a random sample. Okay, because every student has a fair chance of being chosen, so that would be random. And do you think randomly selecting 5 students will accurately represent the population of her class? If not, do you think she should pick more or fewer students? Well, I think that randomly selecting 5 students is going to be accurate, pretty accurate, because the class size is small, so 5 should be enough. If there were a bigger population, let's say like more than like 100, then more students need to be chosen, right? So it's just picking 5 won't represent the entire population. So, but right now, at the most, it'll be like 35 or 30 for the class size. So it's going to be 5 is going to be enough. And C, Damien hopes Miss Levi will assign him the number 7 because it will have a better chance of being selected for the sample. Do you agree or disagree with Damien? I would disagree because each number has the same chance, right? Not that if he chooses 7, he will have a better chance of being selected. No, everyone has the same chance of being chosen. And D, Julie claims Miss Levi must begin with the number 1 when assigning numbers to students. George says she can start with any number as long as she assigns every student a different number. So let's read it again. Julie claims Miss Levi must begin with the number 1 when assigning numbers to students. George, on the other hand, says that she can start with any number as long as she assigns every student a different number. So who's correct? I'm going to go with George, because as long as each student is assigned a different number, they will have the same chance of being chosen. Okay, so you don't have to start with number 1. That's just lame, right? So it's just as long as you're assigned with a different number, then it would be a random sample.